Hello. So last weekend, I was running my current diploma course online. We're currently in lockdown, so my live classes are on hold, and I've been running the modules online. It was the module where I talk about where we teach how to work with depression and happiness. And one of the many things that I discuss is creating positive expectancy in those who feel a sense of hopelessness, which is a common symptom of depression. I speak about instilling hope a great deal in my work, and I thought that I'd record a short video on this particular topic, especially when the situation of the current pandemic is creating depression in so many. Hope is something of a major theme with my hypnotherapy clients, my students, my friends, with family. And in this video, I want to recommend that we hold on to hope, and that we celebrate hope as much as we're able to. If you've been in a classroom or a consulting room with me, or been to a lecture with me, you'll know that I'm a big sci-fi fan and a big Star Wars fan. And one of the things I love about Star Wars is how it has this sort of undercurrent of hope that runs through it, almost as a sort of sub-theme. In one of the more recent Star Wars films, Rogue One, all about how the rebellion got hold of the plans of the Death Star, a character, Cassian Andor, is speaking to the very wonderful Jyn Erso. And while they're trying to get a meeting with Saw, Cassian says, "We'll give your name and hope that gets us a meeting with Saw." And Jyn says, "Hope? Yeah," Cassian responds, rebellions are built on hope. And then later on, a later scene in the film, when Jyn is then speaking to the Rebellion Council, urging them to fight, she says, "We need to capture the Death Star plans if there is any hope of destroying it." And the council reply, "You're asking us to invade an Imperial installation based upon nothing but hope?" And she responds, "Rebellions are built on hope." Beautiful, beautiful. And then the film which began it all, Star Wars 4, A New Hope, happens. And we all know the value of hope from what ensues. So sometimes we can all feel a bit like there is no hope. In your life, things may not be happening in the time frame that you want, or the way in which you want, or the way in which you feel you need them to happen. If you are at a point in your life where you're working and you're not seeing progress, I want to let you know that it's so useful, such a tonic to have hope. Hope is the internal belief that things can, and most importantly, will be better or get better in some way. In a recent research study, Liz Day and her colleagues found that hope was related to academic achievement above and beyond IQ, divergent thinking, and conscientiousness. Without hope, you ultimately tend to resign yourself to accept your current situation. Acceptance then that causes you and your circumstances to appear hopeless, and this can become overwhelming and very difficult to change. But we can all do it. Desmond Tutu once said, "Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all the darkness." So what does it mean to have hope? We can all pay a sort of lip service with sentiments like, I hope it all works out. But this is sometimes just a way of sort of backing out or disengaging from a tough or tricky situation. Real hope comes from a deeper source, the core of the self. And at this core, some important qualities determine how much hope you feel and can offer others. Hope is essential in dealing with common major life transitions like retirement, a new job, a new business venture, marriage, being a parent, divorce, menopause, and many other developments and big transitions that happen in life. Hope is what helps us survive and come through a pandemic lockdown. I love the Bernard Williams quote. "There was never a night or a problem that could defeat sunrise or hope." So the main qualities of hope are strength, resilience, optimism. Strength allows you to turn your own personal power. Resilience means that you can make a rebound from disruptions and setbacks, and optimism radiates hope for the future. As you can probably tell, these qualities are the reverse of worry, complaint, and pessimism. Instead of being self-defeating, they enhance and raise your self-esteem. If you're strong, resilient, and optimistic enough, you can also lift others out of those self-defeating attitudes too. Hope is what's needed in a crisis, but it should serve as a core value every day. And uncertainty is present in many aspects of life, particularly today. And being unable, or rather being able to tolerate uncertainty and thrive in the face of it, is made much easier when you have hope. So if we look a little deeper at these qualities that I've mentioned of hope, and how can we develop them in ourselves with strength. Most people are far too willing to give away their power, and nothing is more hopeless than being powerless. This was highlighted. I was working with a large company quite recently, whereby an executive staff member routinely dominated the conversation, spoke very confidently despite unsaid disagreement amongst the team members. Often other people were just willing to go along with a leader because it's easier than voicing an opposite opinion. Keeping your power means that you stand up for yourself, overcome resistance, and turn a potential crisis into an opportunity. And it's not about arguing just for the sake of it. It's effectively standing up for what you believe while maintaining effective relationships. Too often, however, we allow others to step on and even crush our beliefs, and we consider it too risky to speak the truth, and we become suppressed and hope gets dampened. Real strength is actually founded on a core of quiet calm. It's that kind of still point that isn't disturbed by the rise and fall of events and the sort of turbulence of emotions. There's no need for external bluster and ruthless competitiveness, which is good news because few of us are truly ruthless and few of us enjoy being so. By finding inner strength, we establish a sense of power that lasts a lifetime, and in turn uplifts and encourages those that are close to us. It's good to be around someone who has that kind of inner strength. So with resilience, if you look at the elderly who survive in good health to great old age, especially those who reach 100, they're not often just sort of hard-bitten survivors, nor are they lucky winners in the gene pool or somehow immune to life's woes. Instead, one of the most marked traits is resilience, the ability to come through hard times by bouncing back instead of being pushed down and defeated. Resilience is a real secret to never becoming a victim. Resilience isn't just about positive thinking. When sad events occur, it's emotionally healthy to experience sadness. When loss occurs, grief is called for. The question is how to recover and return to a state of well-being. And this is accomplished at the core of the self, where sadness and grief are felt more lightly and then allowed to pass when fully processed, leaving behind a kind of simple and profound feeling of here I am. In other words, resilience derives from a strong sense of being. When leaders face times of hardship, chaos, or uncertainty, they project and communicate an attitude of, we will get through this together. We're seeing that a lot at the moment, and that inspires hope. Then we get onto optimism. Society often teaches us that life is hard and that constant vigilance and struggle are the norm, and that the safest place to live is behind defensive walls, both metaphoric and real. And against this backdrop, optimism seems unrealistic, even foolish, and we may secretly envy those innocently cheerful people that we sometimes meet, but the hard realities favour cynicism. Yet these attitudes are considered by some to be born of fear and lack of trust. Optimism is the attitude that life can take care of itself sometimes. It's grounded in the belief that each of us has a place in the grand scheme of things and is valued for who we are. You can't turn to outside events to discover this level of trust, because outside events will always foster more uncertainty. Even when turbulence yields some negative consequences in the moment, such as being made redundant, testing a relationship, causing stress of some kind, it's sometimes the right thing. After time, many people report that being let go from a company or stepping away from a relationship ended up being the best thing that happened to them. And this is because, sometimes for new opportunities to present themselves, old ones might need to close. Many of the world's wisdom traditions teach that time cannot be conquered. It will always bring a mixture of pleasure and pain. But at the core of the self is our essence, which is timeless. And this essence is unshakable. And because it is imbued with peace and joy, optimism naturally flows from this deeper level of self. I put what I consider to be some great articles together in the write-up for this video to help you with some of these mentioned areas that I've spoken about so far. So always believe in hope, always hold on to hope, evaluate what you're thinking, what you're doing, what you're saying, and make adjustments to keep yourself on track. Life is difficult enough. You don't want to be your own obstacle. And remember, rebellions are built on hope. So create a hope-inspired rebellion in your own life. That's it for today, for this video. Hope. Do subscribe to this channel and you'll get all the notifications of the updates first. Do go explore my college website for details of my online and classroom-based courses, hypnosis, self-hypnosis, hypnotherapy, and discover our members area. I send you my very best wishes. Goodbye for now.